Welcome to Truth Uncovered. In today's video, we're peeling back the layers of silence, its meaning, its power, and why the absence of your voice might be the loudest. Things she's ever heard. You didn't shout, you didn't beg, you didn't even flinch. And yet she's unraveling, because when a man walks away with his dignity intact, when a man chooses restraint over reaction, when a man lets his silence speak instead of his ego, it doesn't just hurt, it haunts. This is not about revenge. This is about revelation. It's about what happens when a man refuses to collapse just to be noticed. So stay with me, 'cause by the end of this video, you'll understand why your silence isn't weakness. It's warfare with discipline as your weapon. Let's get into it. Point 1. She expected chaos, you delivered calm. She left expecting fireworks, emotional collapse, screamed accusations, endless texts. Why? 'Cause modern relationships, especially toxic ones, are often fueled by the chase, not the connection. She walked away, not for peace, but to provoke conflict. She wanted to see you crack, break, lash out. She wanted proof she still had emotional power over you. But what did you do? Nothing. No text, no calls, no posts, no reactions, just silence. And in that silence, she felt something she didn't prepare for: irrelevance. Because deep down, she was never prepared for your calm. She rehearsed 100 ways you'd spiral. She never imagined you'd evolve. And here's what makes that silence louder than words. It wasn't passive. It was chosen. It came from clarity, not confusion, from strength, not fear, from emotional mastery, not emotional suppression. And now, she's spiraling. Because when chaos meets peace, chaos begins to fall apart too. You didn't crumble, you constructed. Let's not sugarcoat it. Pain is real. But pain is also the forge where men are reforged. And instead of numbing it, you faced it. You felt that tightness in your chest, the emptiness in your gut, the rage, the sadness, the confusion. But you didn't run. You didn't chase distractions, women, alcohol, or validation. You went inward. You sat with the discomfort. You let it teach you. And in that discomfort, you discovered cracks that were there long before she left. That's the truth most men avoid. She didn't break you. She revealed where you were, already broken. But rather than stay broken, you rebuilt. You got to the gym. You focused on your finances. You studied. You trained. She looked back expecting to see a wreck. Instead, she saw a man under construction, not broken, becoming. This is how silent strength works. It humbles those who expected your ruin, and it elevates you into someone unrecognizable, even to yourself. 3. You were her supply. You closed the bank. Understand. This, what many women crave, is not love. It's attention. And attention is a drug more addictive than affection. It's why she posted those stories after leaving. Why she lingered in your DM requests. Why she sent indirect messages through mutual friends. Because she needed to know, do I still affect him? Every reply from you was a hit. Every emoji, every view, every subtle reaction was oxygen to her ego. But then something changed. You cut her off. Not with hatred. Not with revenge, but with indifference. And indifference is fatal to ego, because it says, you no longer have access to my energy, my attention, my presence. Now, when she posts, she refreshes the story views, and your name isn't there. Now, when she sends that accidental text, there's no reply. Now, when she tries to trigger you, nothing happens. And she's gasping because the man she could once emotionally puppeteer has gone. And what replaced him is a fortress she can no longer enter. 4. It was never love, it was control it. Strip this down to the raw truth. It wasn't love. It was a performance. It was a script where she played power. And you played predictability. Push-pull, ghost-.ghost-text, then -text, insult-then-flirt, ignore-then-demand. You were caught in her emotional choreography, and every time you responded with panic or pursuit, it confirmed her control. But now, you've dropped the script. You're not acting anymore. You're living. And for someone addicted to emotional dominance, that's terrifying. Because she didn't lose a boyfriend, she lost her power source. You no longer chase, you no longer react, you no longer apologize just to keep the peace. This isn't stoicism as suppression, this is stoicism as sovereignty. Because the man who can control his emotions cannot be controlled by others. 5. Your silence is a mirror now she sees herself. When you say nothing, if you take away her ability to rewrite the story, she can't say, "He begged. He lost it. He couldn't let me go." 'Cause there's no meltdown, no messages, no receipts, just silence. And silence forces reflection. It creates a vacuum, and in that vacuum, she's left alone with her decisions. Now she's wondering, did I overplay my hand? Did I mistake his silence for indifference? Or is it power? Did I mess this up? There's no clear answer. And that ambiguity drives her mad, because reactions are distractions. But silence is exposure. And it reveals what her reflection really looks like when no one's watching. 6. You're not ghosting. Her growing without her. Let's get something straight. This isn't about pettiness. It's not about playing mind games. You're not ghosting. You're growing. You're healing. You're evolving. You're investing in your potential. Instead of pleading for validation, growth is quiet. Transformation is lonely, but it's real. And here's what makes your silence so potent. You're not flaunting your glow. You're not trying to make her jealous. You're not seeking revenge. You're building. Privately, relentlessly, peacefully. No. Need to post every gym pic? No. Need to prove anything. Because this isn't about showing her what she lost. It's about finally understanding what you've found herself. 7. You said nothing. That's why it hurts her more in the end. Your silence isn't punishment, it's proof. Proof that you no longer live in the house of her opinion. Proof that you've outgrown the cycle. Proof that she no longer has the keys to your peace. And that's what stings the most. Not the absence of love, but the absence of power. She's left wondering, is he thinking of me? Has he moved on? Was I ever really that important? But you're done wondering. You're not chasing what walked away. You're not seeking closure. You are the closure. Your peace is now your priority. And she's watching the door she walked out of slowly disappear in the distance. Final message. Become the storm behind the calm if you've ever been called cold for protecting your peace. If you've ever been told your silence is toxic, understand this. The world teaches men to beg, plead, chase, perform. But real power, real masculinity, it begins when you no longer betray yourself just to be understood. This isn't just silence, it's sovereignty. It's the moment you stop trying to be enough for someone else and started becoming everything for yourself. So if you're ready to step into the next chapter, to stop being the man she used to know and become the man no one forgets, comment below. She lost access. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more unapologetic truths. And turn on notifications to never miss another wake-up call from Truth Uncovered. Remember this? You said nothing. That's why it's hitting her harder. Not because you're heartless, but because you finally chose you.